Good morning, everyone. And this morning, I thought we'd have a look at one of my favourite websites called the Taxpayers Alliance. And the Taxpayers Alliance studies how our money as UK taxpayers is actually being spent. And I find this a very informative website. It's one of my favourites, and I refer to it very often. And anybody who is concerned about where their hard-earned tax dollars are heading needs to get themselves onto the Taxpayers Alliance website as soon as possible. And what we're looking at today is a section of the Taxpayers Alliance website called the Benefits Dashboard. That's correct, the Benefits Dashboard. And this is very informative. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this, and it's going to take us to the next page. Here we go. Here we go. And up in the top left, it says Explore Data Series. And there's various boxes we can tick here. National spending on benefits, employment and support, work capability assessments, disability benefits, PIP claims, PIP Enhanced Mobility, and DLA payments for children. But in today's video, we're going to look at the old favourite, the old chestnut, PIP Enhanced Mobility. And I know this agitates a lot of Northern Ireland taxpayers, but let's see. And the only thing wrong with the Taxpayers Alliance is that it only provides figures for England and Wales, not for Northern Ireland. But I suppose it gives a good indication of where we're heading in terms of personal independence payment, enhanced mobility. I suppose it gives us a track to run on, so to speak. So we'll click on England and see what happens. And here we go. Here's the nice coloured graph coming up. Very informative, this. Right, now we're looking at the chart. And underneath the chart, the blue is other disabilities. This one here. We have neurological disease, muscular skeleton disease, general. Then we have muscular skeleton disease regional, and then we have psychiatric disorders. And psychiatric disorders is the big one. It's the purple coloured graph right at the top. So let's look at the statistics. On January 19, or 2019, let's look at the figures. And for this particular one, I think we need to look at the more psychiatric disorders, i.e. depression, anxiety, and other such disorders that go along with those. But anyway, the figures are quite stark. In January 19, we had 210,867 people with some type of psychiatric disorder eligible for enhanced mobility, believe it or not. So you can actually get enhanced mobility through PIP if you have a psychiatric disorder, not necessarily a disability. The direction of travel of all of these illnesses from January 19 to April 25, which is approximately 6 months ago, is stark. If we look at the psychiatric disorders, on April 25, it has increased to 612,626. It's went up nearly 3 times, or just shy of 3 times, in the space of essentially 6 years. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll just bring the camera in. there you go. 607,619. I will just zoom back out again and go back down to what it was on January 19. And we'll just go across and zoom in again. Now we see it, psychiatric disorders, 210,867. So the direction of travel is always on an upward trajectory. It never goes down. That speaks volumes to me. All those people, but especially those with psychiatric disorders, are entitled to enhanced mobility through the Personal Independence Payment Scheme, i.e. PIP. There does not seem to be any downward spiral to this, and unfortunately we as taxpayers have to pay for this farce, and that's all it is, a complete and utter farce. The only people making money out of this is Motability. The government seem powerless to actually stop this. Every single one of those disabilities for PIP is on an upward rise. That in and of itself is quite incredible. So tell me what you think about this. How do we solve this problem? Because it is a problem, I can assure you of that. The taxpayer is being rinsed, and as taxpayers we've really had enough. I'm a great believer in keeping more of our own money before shelling out on a farce such as this. Quite disgraceful. But as always, I'll turn it over to yourselves. Tell me what you think of this. I think it's an absolute disgrace. And all these people are eligible for enhanced mobility. Now, I do understand that these are English figures, but remember, 20% of cars on English roads are through the Motability scheme. 20%. In our nation, Northern Ireland, it's double that. It's 40%. That is shocking. And none of the political class seem to have any idea of how to solve this problem. I mean, I don't believe that a psychiatric disorder is necessarily a disability, and that should entitle you to a mobility car. I think it's nonsense on stilts, and I do think we need to challenge it urgently, because the direction of travel is just up, up and up, and something needs to be done about this. Well, anyway, leave your comments and tell me what you think, and I'll see you all on the next video.